So welcome to the first lecture in our Couch to 5K lecture series. We're really glad that you've joined us tonight, and we have an excellent night ahead of us, as well as a great lecture series. We want to remind you that this lecture series is for all levels of fitness. If you're going for your personal best this summer in a 5K run, that is fantastic. But if your goal is simply to be able to walk a 5K, we are just as thrilled about that. Remember, our goal is to increase your activity level this summer from wherever you're starting. So, as a brief introduction to the logistics of this Couch to 5K, I'm going to explain some of our incentives and prizes. If you're here tonight, I hope that you picked up a punch card. Bring that card with you to each lecture. If you go to at least 3 lectures, then you will receive either a free t-shirt or Sky Lakes will pay for half of a 5K race entry fee to any race that you choose. If you go to all 6 lectures, you will be entered into a grand prize drawing for a prize sponsored by The Ledge downtown that is valued at $450. So please remember to bring your punch cards to each lecture. And if you have any questions about this, please see me after it's finished. You will see on the back of your punch card a space to record your blood pressure. If you'd like to have your blood pressure measured, there's the table just around there, and she'll be here after the lecture so you can get it checked if you haven't had a chance. Does anyone not have a raffle ticket or a punch card? Great. We are also sponsoring hikes once a month on the 3rd Saturday of each month. This month's hike will take place this Saturday at the Link River Trail. So please park at the Fable Museum downtown and we'll take off at 9 a.m. The next hike will be the Moore Park Nature Trail on May 17th, and please park near the tennis courts. And the flyer has all of the details on these hikes. Lastly, at the end of each hike and at the end of each lecture, we will be raffling off 10 prizes. So stay tuned for the drawing at the end of the lecture. And just a brief segue, my name is Catherine Yoakum-Pope, and I'm the program director of the new Sky Lakes Wellness Center. I moved to Klamath Falls last June, and I haven't lived in Klamath Falls for long, but I know who Danny Miles is. I learned who he was mere weeks after moving here and spent the winter following OIT basketball to see if this spectacular coach would reach 1,000 wins. As you probably all know, he did. In fact, he racked up 1,004 wins before the season was out. An amazing feat that only one other men's basketball coach has ever done. But Danny's commitment to physical activity started when he was a child in Medford and continued through high school and college in Southern Oregon, where he set a record for completion percentage and led the nation in offense as his team's quarterback. He was named All-American. Of course, he also earned All-Conference in basketball and All-District in baseball. Quite versatile. It was there that he developed his passion for coaching and encouraging individuals to start exercising. He joined OIT's coaching staff in 1970 after coaching high school, and in 1971 he became the head coach of basketball and baseball, as well as the offensive coordinator for football. Eventually, due to his great success, he focused solely on basketball. In the 70s, he developed his well-known value point system in which he evaluates players not just on how much they score, but on how well they defend, assist their teammates, and support each other. This innovative method has spread as he hosts basketball clinics internationally in Kenya, Rwanda, Australia, China, and France. He has been named the NAIA National Basketball Coach of the Year twice, the National Association of Basketball Coaches Coach of the Year once, and the NAIA's Champion of Character Award for all sports. In fact, he has received so many awards that it would take the entirety of this lecture to name them all. So I won't. Danny Miles is also an exemplary member of the Klamath Falls community and an excellent role model for physical activity, as well as determination and persistence. We are extraordinarily lucky to have him join us tonight to talk about the benefits of physical activity and how to begin an exercise regime. Danny Miles, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Catherine. she wanted some information on me, and I told her to keep it brief. You didn't do it. But, thank you very much. Again, I'm a physical education teacher. I'm a coach. I started a fitness center at Oregon Tech. In fact, the interesting thing about that was we dropped football and a bunch of sports, and we ended up having just 2 people on staff back in 1991. And the president at that time said, okay, I want you to start a fitness center. We got rid of all our PE courses, which I think getting rid of PE courses is a terrible mistake, by the way, and that's happened all over the country in high schools too. But started a fitness center, and the very first day of our opening was the day of the earthquake, 6.2, kind of ruined the opening a little bit, but that was my first day as a fitness center director, and but I'm also a teacher. But what I'm talking about tonight, and some of the things are my observations. I've been very blessed to be able to go all over the world. As Catherine said, I coached in Rwanda and Kenya. The last 2 summers in France, I've been in France 8 summers. And I've been able to go all over the world, like I said, in China and different places, observe people, observe their cultures, and in the last 20 years, really see a big difference in what's happened in the United States as far as obesity. Now, before I talk about that, I'm 23 pounds overweight from where I was my playing days, and I want to lose 15 pounds. And it's been kind of hard for me because I love sweets, and I have a tough time, turning them down. My wife's a great cook, and I tell her don't cook and leave that stuff out there. She likes to bake, and so that's been a tough thing for me. But I do exercise a lot, and I want to mention kind of what I do as an exercise. I try to do 42 minutes a day on one of those Stairmaster type things, and I do 711 calories every morning. And then after that, what I try to do is get 10,000 steps in a day. So I figure in the 42-minute workout, I'm getting about 6,000 steps. And then I'll do, try to get 4,000 more. That's something that we can all do. The other thing I've learned to do is I try to park, like tonight I parked way down the road. And if you park a long ways from your work, or when you go, say you go to lunch, like somebody works at Oregon Tech, for example, if they work in Snell Hall, and maybe they're walking over to go to lunch, walk around half a mile or a quarter of a mile, come around the backside, and all these things add up. Maybe go to the restroom a couple times a day. Same thing, take the long way, go up the upstairs restroom. Those are little things. I remember a couple weeks ago, I had a dear friend, a neighbor that was very ill, and went to the hospital every day for like 8 days, and three times a day to see him. And so I parked a long ways in the parking lot. So one time I just decided to count my steps, never use the elevator. And so I counted my steps as 350 steps to the door. If I did that 3 times, that's 1,400 steps I did just going to see him. And so those things like that really add up. It's just, and basically, I see all these fad diets and all these things, but it's basically mathematics. And the calories you put in, the calories you burn up. And it's fairly simple. But really, the way I look at it, I've had a couple situations. I got my 1,000th win, which is really a nice thing. Finally got out of the way. I was getting tired of it, and I pleaded to my guys to win the game and get it over with, because I had all these friends coming 1,000 miles round trip to see the 1,000th win. It didn't happen for quite a while. And so, but 3 days after my 1,000th win, I found out I had prostate cancer. And so I think they've caught it early. I'm having surgery next Monday, but I can't wait when it's over, because I'm going to start getting after it again. And the other thing I learned too from that is, my wife always said, well, I shouldn't be eating that, and well, I did anyway. But now I got a real reason not to eat sweets and stuff, because it's it's something that helps grow cancer. So I'm going to get away from the sweets I already have, and also I've been eating too much red meat. I love steaks and things like that. I'm eating chicken and stuff right now. So the thing is, I'm learning, and 68 years old, but I still love to work out, and I love feeling good. And as Catherine mentioned, I played 3 sports in college. I played 3 sports basically all my life, and I've exercised all my life. Leonard here is an elite runner. One of my heroes watching this guy run. But even back when I was 27, I ran 2,700 miles that year. I ran 2 full marathons, and I got into that just 2 years ago. This coming May, I always had in my bucket list to walk from Klamath Falls to Medford, Klamath Falls to, Ashland. And so we took off at 10 o'clock at night, one of my buddies, my coaching buddy, and we walked to Ashland, except the problem was I got real bad blisters. I didn't think I was gonna get, but 33 miles, had my wife come and get me. So, but we're just starting the downhill thing, and blisters weren't real fun. It's kind of interesting too. The guy that I was walking with said he brought a medicine kit. Well, he brought a knife. He opened the knife up. My back was hurting too bad to pop my own blisters, so he was over there doing this, and I thought, well, wait with me.